Just got in from a stroll in the park. Look at the rash I got on me. Broke out all over my body a few days ago. I have no idea what it is. It was really, really fucking itchy. It started clearing up a little bit today. I just got back from a stroll in the forest. I'm boiling hot. Like, I just hiked up the hill, my backpack on. I had a shirt and a light jacket, really light jacket, wide open. Still, I'm carrying up like, oh, I forgot to bring him in. I had a pumpkin about this big, another one a little bit smaller, a bunch of seeds. I saw people drop them off down the valley, so I went down and grabbed them. At the same time, I thought I'll go looking for elm oysters, and I ended up hiking through a lot of off-trail stuff. I saw a big, nice white swan that, as I sat there watching it, you know, when you kind of like talk to nature and you go like I come out to fucking hunt mushrooms, and I haven't found my catch yet for the day. You know me. And the fucking thing, it goes like this. It pulls his head up, looks at me, and then looks straight over directly at this tree across the river. And down on the bottom side, I mean, I had a bit of a walk to get over there to get it, but a perfect oyster mushroom. The only one I saw my entire walk. So I went around. As soon as I picked it, the goose got up. Big, huge, freaking white thing. I mean, enormous. I've never seen one like that in the creek here before. I've seen black ones and different colored ones, but this is like perfect, beautiful white, all on its own. And when I went and picked the mushroom, the thing got up and kind of took off. Like, it stayed in that spot until I got there and picked it. I thought it was so cool. And right after I picked the oyster mushroom, I found this right beside it. Now, this is Dryad Saddle. It's a little past its prime, but for those of you know, it's like rubber. There's a lot of stuff you can do with Dryad Saddle when it's dry. Not just eating it and stuff, which honestly, a lot of these mushrooms really don't taste that good, I found. But there are some that do taste good. And I have, from my walk today, I crossed the creek a couple of times, took my shoes off, and went through the water. Listen. It's got beautiful meat in it. I don't know if it's edible or not. I've seen this one a couple of times. We're going to experiment with that and find out what it is. There's more of it. And then these ones I want to check out. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah. Oh, and I picked up a bunch of walnuts on the side of the trail with the black goo on. Went down to the river and I washed them off. So I've got my little walnuts here. I got one, two, wait a minute. I can't see, it's dark here. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fuck, I thought I picked 8. Oh, I only got 5. Okay. And this here is a little bit of, whoops, dropped it. It's just a sample I got of like the coral fungus. Passes prime. It's no good teeth, but I might be able to start off with something else. And turkey tail. I'm not sure if it's turkey tail or not. We're still got to look into it. Huh. Okay, well, I'm not sure where I put it. So some of this stuff, I guess I put outside somewhere. I came in, I was so fucking hot. All I did was strip down, wipe the sweat from my head all over my body in case I got ticks or anything, because it was quite warm out there. Even walking in the river didn't really cool me down much because my feet, it's kind of funny. It's only about 9 degrees out there, but I was walking barefoot on a lot of the trail until I started getting like rose bush thorns and things like that into my foot. And I thought, fuck, gotta put the shoes back on. There's a little bit of what I think is turkey tail, but I'm not sure. Got a couple different samples. I'll have to look that up. And I wish I had the oyster mushrooms here. I don't know what. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's the stem of my field mushroom. Totally edible. Agaricus something or other. Here's my elm oyster. That's about the weight of McDonald's hamburger or Big Mac. That's about how heavy that is. And they don't shrink a lot when you cook them. They're not all moist, like it's kind of a drier mushroom, really heavy, really dense. Here, I'm going to cook it tonight anyway, so I'll give you an idea of the meat. A very, very meaty and hearty mushroom. Now that's the elm oyster, and this growing on a log, dead wood, just like the other elm oyster or the other oyster mushrooms I found. It feels like an oyster mushroom. It's got the same characteristics. It's rubbery. It breaks the same way. And it's orange, but I've never seen one that's orange before. It's a lot drier than most oyster mushrooms I've tried. A very, very woody taste. I'm not sure if I'm going to eat that or not, but that's the first time I've seen this one. I thought I'd try it. And I got only just enough to sample. This one here is the Agaricus. This is the stem for it. It broke in the backpack, but it was a perfect sample. It was the only one I seen in the forest underneath some pine trees. Beautiful fragrance. And it's prime. It's meaty. You could practically eat that rock, it's like a mud on it. But the flavor, so good. So I got a few of the orange ones here. Just going to give them a little bit of a try tonight. And I got these white ones were found in the same tree, but I know they're not oysters. But they got a really nice white meat to them. Very moist. Oh, that's the Agaricus one. You can see the distinct look of that. And that completes most of the stuff I found tonight. Oh, yeah. And pocket full of juniper berries. Not sure what to do with them with that. Oh, and a baby Agaricus. There was two of them I found. It's a little bit dirty, but I cleaned that up. Between the oyster and the other mushroom I have, even if the remainder is not edible, with that and the pumpkin that I managed to pick up tonight, I mean, just that little one, the seeds from it, I picked up a handful of seeds from some other pumpkins. People throw them off on the side of the road. I go by, I collect them. And if anyone knows what that red rash is, that came up overnight, just fucking out of nowhere. Itchy as fuck. Today it seems to have subsided. Little blisters are kind of healing over. I don't know what triggered it. I have no idea if it was an allergy. I took a little Claritin the other day, and it seemed to help considerably, and the symptoms haven't returned as bad. I do find I got a problem with overheating. Keep in mind, a little while ago, I had a couple of tick bites, and I had the characteristic. I had one on the chest here, on my stomach, the bullseye rash that you get. You know, there's so many diseases, so many different things. Nature's out to get you. We're not meant to be. Holy fuck! It gets to a point where, you know, I thought about the forest tonight. Okay, do I go down there? Well, I could get bitten by ants. Yeah. What's if I pick up ticks? It's warm enough. I get a bunch more ticks. So what? So what? I got to experience some really cool stuff on my walk tonight. And as much as my knees started hurting on the way back, by the time I got to the top of the hill, with the blood flow and the extra exercise of pulling all that stuff up there and feeling like, you know what? I did something tonight. I picked up some survival pieces, okay? Like, I found a birch tree it fell down, okay? This was kind of half peeled off. I just finished the rotation on it. That's enough fire starter for months. To demonstrate how fucking I got a piece of metal here. And I got a metal tin so I can squish it out, okay? So it's not a safety hazard, but just watch how fast that. Instantly, just like that. It's still burning, by the way. Just a spark is enough to get that going. Ah, my jar fell off. So I went by one of the forts that I'd been accustomed to going to, and there's a tree fell on it. A great big huge tree fell on it, and another one came the other way. The place is completely demolished. It doesn't exist anymore. So that sucks. However, the idea was I was heading out there and I thought, it's by the river. I can wash my stuff. I don't want to make a fire out there. It's in an area that really there's nobody around. Nobody can really see. I like the privacy. I like the solitude. Yeah, it's a bit lonely, but you know, it affords an opportunity that many of us, I think, failed to recognize earlier in life. So it's something I recommend. If anyone can get out there and just find whatever excuse you got to get in the woods and just sit. Now, as I walked through, I realized the destruction I'm causing on the path. A squirrel dropped a walnut out of the tree, just missed me by a few inches. It scared the shit out of me. And it was right after I picked that oyster mushroom, and I thought to myself, I wonder if that's nature saying, look, stop stealing the food that the animals need. We got all these factories and we got access to food that they can't even touch. And yet we throw away more than we can eat in a day. Most of us literally throw away more than we can eat. I realized the potential of nature a little bit more tonight. I saw how clean the water looked and how cold and crisp it was, but the lack of wildlife and living things in our community has got me really, really disturbed. To the point where I understand why the Niagara Parks Commission and the Escarpment Commission have said for the scouts and that to just do like 1 or 2 trips a month, make it a report. I think any more than that, and we're overtaxing the ecosystem out there. I think the more I walk out into the forest, the more I observe what I'm seeing in nature. I don't need all the experts to tell me anything. To the contrary, I feel like I want to tell a lot of the experts to shut the fuck up, mind their own business, and go out and figure it out for themselves. Stop just parroting what they hear from academia. First-hand experience out in the forest, out into anything for that matter, is really, to me, the only thing that really counts. Book smarts is great, maybe to give you a bit of the theory of the background before you get out there, but I remember when I started as an electrical apprentice, the journeyman on the job, they'd say, Dave, the first thing you're going to do, forget everything you fucking learned. Just forget it, okay? You're going to starting over. You're going to learn how it actually works on the job. And yeah, it was a lot of like relearning to do. Fortunately, I had an excellent set of teachers and a learning team that facilitated I feel very fortunate in a lot of respects. That's what I'm saying, I guess. So it's incredibly exhausted when I come back from that trip, but I felt motivated to do a video because I haven't been doing many lately. I feel like there's a lot to be said. I think everyone's got a story. Part of us getting all this together on the internet is for everyone to put their story online, not to gain fans or anything else, but maybe in the future, 100 years from now, These are the videos that we'll be looking at to help us remember who we really are again. We got no idea yet where we're going. To me, it feels like we're just starting off on a journey of, like I said to my brother today, and we're heading out to get smokes at the reserve. It's like this a dress rehearsal for the real show. That's what it kind of feels like sometimes. So, I've gone out and I've done 3 hours of foraging. Now, I got to admit, after 3 hours of foraging, I've come back thoroughly exhausted. Now, figure if I had to light a fire and everything else, all right, that's not a big deal anymore because, coming back to camp, I broke off a piece of apple tree branch that was dead, but this big. It's about an inch. There's enough wood just from that to have cooked the food I brought back tonight. With another branch like that, I could probably boil up some water and have a coffee or a tea, hot chocolate, whatever, warm drink, a bowl of soup maybe, make some mushroom soup, and maybe even enough to boil up, a couple of cups of water so I can wash myself down a bit and even do dishes. So, okay, 3 branches about this long could do that. I know with my skills right now, I've done experiments. I know it can be accomplished. It's a completely doable and feasible, sustainable option. Though sustainable, where's the motivation to do it when you got a toaster oven here? Got a fridge in the hallway that's not hooked up, but can be hooked up. I think the more we become dependent on these appliances and the different things, like there's nothing wrong with any of these things, really. It's that, how are we using them? Like, what are we spending all that extra time that we've got? Are we helping to solve world problems by taking advantage of all these different bits of technology? Or are we just using it for entertainment? Are we mindlessly wasting our lives away with games and frivolity and our little awards and our tokens of appreciation? I don't know. I'm used to YouTube or Facebook, and in Facebook I've got my live chat thing sitting right on the screen so I can see the notes I wrote. But the way I've done this on YouTube, I can't see the notes that I wrote, so I can't remember if I'm covering the stuff that I thought I would. I just noticing on YouTube. Made a lot of advances with Trick or Treat with Selena Gomez and the chef. Ooh, that sounds fucking enticing. We got, the space program, Elon Musk. I got stuff coming up with the story of Vietnam and Agent Orange and a lot of the different things happening there. Different things to do with disease. Incredible modern cowhide processing factory from Knoll Farm. Some interesting stuff to look up. We got a whole sequence on it. Stuff in the Sigma mail. I mean, there's a lot of different things to distract us and divert us. It might be even stuff that is maybe of total interest and maybe is of benefit. I don't know. Like, do any of us really know where any of this? Oh, here we go. MyStoryFLOW. I found it on YouTube. Now I'm going to see if I can find MyStoryFLOW. I found it on. Here we go. Show less. Okay. My stroll in the forest. Okay, I got pumpkins, my elm oysters, my spelling's bad, orange oysters as well, and Dryad Saddle, yeah, birch bark, field shroom, juniper berries, some wild ginger root. What did I do with the ginger root? I got a piece about that long. That really healthy fucking top-notch piece, too. It just kind of jumped out at me, and I thought, I'll take that. So I was pretty happy with my catch tonight. If I'd have been a jerk, I could have probably caught that goose and butchered the shit out of it and think about it. Why? A lot of the reason we don't know how to eat from the forest is because, well, you know what? We better leave that for another discussion. And for the record, that itching rash is getting really bad again after sweating. I don't know if it still shows there. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Literally appeared overnight. I'm not sure what the trigger was either. One minute I'm feeling fine. The next minute, suddenly I am itching everywhere, and these spots start. I could feel blisters underneath my skin over my whole body, like everywhere. My face felt puffy and itchy. My eyes felt like they were burning and popping out. I have no idea what it was or is. I do gotta admit, since I've been outside more and more and more, I'm finding, like last year I was outside. What's the date today? November 11th, right? Okay, last year I was outside, living outside until November 15th. Now the thing is, last year at November 15th, we'd already had snow on the ground a couple of times. I was sleeping outside in snow falling down. I woke up in the morning bare feet, go outside, take a piss, and bare feet on the leaves that I placed outside, a nice soft path, and taking a piss outside in the snow. And I was fine. This year, the temperatures are much, 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 much warmer. Unlike last year, I'm finding myself sweating more than anything. Last night, light blanket, basically sleeping in the raw, and I wake up boiling hot again. I think, is it just me? Well, I don't know. I don't have a thermometer to tell me if it's hot or cold. I just go by, what feels comfortable and what doesn't. And that's tricky. Like, how do we know what's proper, what's normal, what, as our bodies evolve and adapt? I mean, I'm being exposed to things that at one time, like this is the birch bark, right? Peel that off. Pulling it right off the trees. There's spider webs and all kinds of stuff in it, insects. You just throw it in your backpack, getting it all over your body. You're walking through the bush. You have bugs crawl up your legs. So what? You're exposed to all kinds of fungus. So what? I'm kind of looking at like the more we expose ourselves. I'm not talking about streaking in public. I'm talking about like go out and experience nature in your comfort zone. Every now and then I find that I'm holding back because I'm afraid that I'll get a poison ivy rash or something stupid. In the end, I saw these mushrooms in areas where I had to literally walk through and go into some awkward areas if I wanted to go get them. So I did. And as I started doing it, I relaxed. And I thought, my dad used to say, like, you panic is the worst thing you can do. And a lot of times, you got reeds up here and you got all these thistles and all kinds of things like catching your body. You haven't got the right clothing on it, snagging you. It's easy to get yourself all in a fluster. You just relax, go with it, and bend and flow. And it's when you start to see the magic. I don't believe that this world hates us. I don't know if there really is any problems, if it's just ourselves. How we look at things. Like, I had some stress building over the last couple of weeks, actually, last couple of months. And I wonder, you release that stress. Is that just your body purging all the shit out of it? Sometimes they say when you get sick, that's when you're actually healing. There's so many theories. We got all these different extremes of the spectrum, as it were. I could get all freaked out, go to the doctors, and dedicate my time now to trying to figure out why I got a rash and get caught up in a labyrinth I might never get out of. Or I can just get on with my life and continue doing the things like, ow, I want to do, and just hope that my body has enough built in that it'll keep on going. And if not, well, maybe that's my mission done, you know? So I got a little bit of processing tonight. I got some hemp seeds I got to harvest and bring in, at least the next couple days anyway. Drying them bit by bit. I got to be really diligent on it because if I leave them for too long drying, especially if rodents have access, I got to hang them up from the ceiling. Otherwise, they just come in and take all the seeds. And I grew these plants for the seeds. So that's kind of what I want. I mean, they're leaving the rest of it and I can get the powder off it and still get a nice buzz off it. But without the seeds, it's kind of a waste. So I'm trying to capitalize on that right now. And then I guess trying to just make a comfortable spot for the winter. At the same time, we're just surviving and we're struggling all the time. It takes the fun out of life, eh? Like I found a little bit of that fun for a while, but then after a while, it's like, all right, enough's enough. All right, I can do it. You learn the lesson of, okay, so yeah, we know those skills, like the Boy Scouts, Girl Guides, you learn these skills and you get these badges and you make some progress with your whatever, right? Then how do you apply that? What's, where does it become of value? There's a lot of people, I'm sure you guys will agree, that are big up on this, shit hits the fan scenario and government's out to get you and blah, 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 doom and gloom. And they want to preach all the stuff that's fucking rotten. Notwithstanding, there's a lot of fucked up shit out there. And yeah, we got to acknowledge it. It's important we acknowledge everything, right? And consider it. Then we also got to put it in its place, in its perspective. Found myself getting caught up in the space program lately. And it's like, yeah, woo. But I found myself taming it back when I realized again, look, this is great. We got all this technology, right? But we still haven't fed the hungry. We still have car accidents. We haven't figured out disease. We talk about human rights and every life matters. And yet, unvaccinated people are becoming the new black, as it were. And I hope that doesn't piss anyone off because Jesus Christ, man. There's some weird thinking out there. But to balance that, I'd have to say that the vast majority of the people in the circle that I frequent are pretty solid. Like, the shit hit the fan. I'm not too worried about it because with the network of people that I know already, I doubt any of us are going to have a problem. I mean, any of us at all. In fact, maybe that's what we need to bring us all back together again. I don't know. I'm feeling a little melancholy and a little introspective this evening. The walk did clear my head. I was feeling really groggy. I found myself as it was getting dark, wishing that I was on a long journey with a crew and we were camping out for the night. We were stopping and I had to go and find the, supplies to get fire and a bit of food, and someone else was doing it too. And we all got back to camp. We combined the resources and blah, 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 blah. And we live another day of comfort, or another evening, rather. There is a little bit of a security feeling that we get when we're with others of like mind, right? Imagine a world where you could actually feel totally free and confident. You really can't get in any serious trouble. That there's a safety net there that if you push too far in any direction, you get this gentle nudge back and it helps you stay where you really want to be in the first place, right? I imagine that world, and I believe that there are people other than myself working on that. And I'm hoping that we're going to find that right here on Earth without having to go to Mars or anywhere else. Wow, 30 minutes already. And I feel like I'm still trying to figure out what I was about to say. Anyway, that's basically my report of going out for my walk. I left at around 2:30 and got home around 5:30, I think. No, wait a minute, 6 o'clock now. It's half an hour. Yeah, about 5:30. Because I clicked onto this almost as soon as I got in. I was still boiling hot and sweating. It's taken a while to cool down, but I am getting there. And I'm going to process some of my mushrooms I got tonight. Look up my orange oyster to see what's up with that. And I was looking at some stuff earlier. It was last night, I think, about mycelium, about fungus. Pretty fascinating subject. I encourage everyone, if you get the opportunity, to look into it a little deeper. How it holds things together, bridges gaps. It's a communicator. It bridges gaps. It fills in the blanks, as it were. And I've seen a lot of useful purposes for them. With these can you hit underneath? Do a little scratch. It takes a few minutes, but it starts to turn a different color. Interesting. Most conchs are really hard, but this one's really moist. Like it breaks up nice, like beautiful mushroom smell. But it's so woody, it's inedible. But juicy. Imagine you could put one of these in a stew like a bay leaf and it would just impart that flavor. And when you think about it, if something tastes really, really good, I'm looking at like that's food. Okay. Oh, I found some new berries tonight too. Some new red berries. They taste like a bad version of a huge currant. I've never seen them before. There's like 8 plants and they were all in one fucking spot. And it's the only place I've ever seen them in the forest. And the first time I've ever seen them. Tasted one tonight. And they got this big, huge, flat, wedgie shaped seed in it. I have no idea what it is. There's a couple of interesting plants in this area that I have no idea what they are. And it'd be interesting to kind of hook up with people that know what these are, which is kind of coming along. We got the mushroom forums online here now on Facebook. I don't know if YouTube, I've still had I had some chat sequences going on in here, and I don't know how to access them anymore. I don't know if I don't know what's happened, but I think it would be really cool if we could get a little bit more chat happening on the YouTube forums. I realize it's a different platform and we've got a different way of doing it. So we're not trying to mimic any other platform. What's this? 57 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy. Oh my God, you know what? That's Internet Explorer trying to get on my system again. I have everything calibrated to Celsius and to the metric system. This many of you like that Internet Explorer and stuff, but look, I find it a pain in the ass. I do everything in Chrome. Everything. Fuck, I don't even know how to explain that. Like Chrome takes the best of everything that's out there and makes it work seamlessly with all the other players. There's probably not much I can say that's in anything inspirational. I'm not even trying to really. I guess I'm kind of just cataloging and making a report of what I did today. After going for smokes, I got back, sat at the computer a bit, hummed and hawed about hooking up the fridge, realized my body needs exercise. I thought I'd go for a bike ride, blah, 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 blah. So couple hours later, I realized, okay, just I'm looking over the edge of the hill. I see a couple pumpkins laying down on the ground that somebody's throwing down there. Like this is like, a half kilometer walk, a quarter kilometer. Well, it depends on, well, it's only a few hundred meters if you just go the way the crow flies. But to get there, you got to kind of, it's a bit of a walk. But I mean, visually, you could see right there, there's still another huge pumpkin down there. I got it hidden in some grass. I'm going to pick it up next time I'm down there with a vehicle. And that provides me a fair bit of food. I got some of the pumpkin that I got just recently. I dried out. It was about yay big. And it's dried up into a little piece like this. Rock hard. And I'm exploring things like, the nutshells and walnuts, different nuts that you can get from the forest for food and for fuel value as far as like heating. We can build things on a scale that kind of fits our own personal need. Like how big of a dwelling do we need to heat? If you just got a small space, it does not take much heat to heat that up, especially if it's all soft fabric. And so what I've been doing is every day, at least I try here every day, I go out in the forest and I've been taking the goldenrod weeds that are out there and snapping them at the base and then bringing them into little piles all over in my walkway as I go. And then as I do my path back and forth, I'll pick up different bundles, bring them slowly back to where I'm dwelling or where I'm working. And bit by bit, I pile them up and integrate them into my new creation, my little habitat I'm building. So we'll give you more on that as the season progresses, but it looks like I'm indoors again for the winter, not making it outside, not full-time this year yet anyway, but it doesn't mean it's off the table. That 6 months outside last year in the summer has got me, it's something I'll never forget. I did camp with my mom and dad outside for literally, I guess, an entire summer, a couple of times. It's a little different than the way I'm doing it here. There's no real tent. It's like all natural stuff using garbage and plants and mud. I managed to make a pretty interesting little habitat that it affords me a good amount of shelter under different circumstances. So if I can find a way to live outside. SpaceX crew 4 hours to arrive at the space station. Crew 3 is now arriving at the space station. Woohoo! Crew 3, a member of 4. I'm going to try making a comment on my chat. See how this stuff works. Okay, that worked over there. Okay, now that's the one playing back. This is the one that's doing live. That came from playback, but it's going to look like it's the same character. That's interesting. Can't do that on Facebook. Actually, yes, you can. Crew 3 mission, approach and docking. We've got a live broadcast of it right now.
And can really dock by itself.
Ooh, we got a ton of them. Oh shit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You can monitor approach for step 1 of 1.104 crew dragon approach and retreat monitoring. Let us know when your review is complete and you're ready for docking.
Now this is interesting. They're showing a video clip of up in the shuttle, blah, 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 and you can see the vehicles back and forth, but I have some doubts as to whether it's real or not. I gotta brush my teeth. Man, they feel
Review is complete, ready for docking. Copy all, thanks.
SpaceX appearance, just for your information, we saw an object look like a knurled knob, although difficult to tell with distance in our centerline camera view from a upper left or lower right from our view is not visible anymore.
How would you feel if you saw a gnarled knob out in space, huh? How are you going to tell mission control that one?
And copy that, Tom. You saw a gnarled knob in your centerline view going from the upper left to the lower right. Is that a good readback?
That's what I heard. Oh, there's a time delay for back and forth. Eh?
Good readback. It could have been a small nut. It's hard to tell the distance from the camera. Just want to let you know we saw that pass by.
Interesting. You see shadow coming in. It is getting closer. This is kind of cool watching this.
And SpaceX copies all. We are not concerned with continuing our approach here, and I will give you some calls up on the big loop shortly.
Oh, look at these different camera views. All right, at this point, you know that's fucking bullshit. Because to have them kind of camera clues, okay, how many different fucking drones did you got flying around this thing out in space? Just looking at the camera views. Fuck, I'll post it in the thing here so you can actually play with it.
On the big loop, we are anticipating that we are going to enter a hold here at waypoint 2 for some more.
Oh, these camera shots, guys, you got to actually see it in sync with what I'm seeing at the same time.
10 to 12 minutes
there, now they're zooming right in on it. Like, even if you were flying in another ship, you need like 4 or 5 ships to do these different angle camera views, at least.
George copies the big loop. We can go visors back up then if that's the plan. Otherwise, we're happy with lighting. If you guys obviously have a better estimate of what
I'm fine with live chat on it.
We'll go.
See if I can find with live chat. Then you get involved in the live chat. Oh, hi chat, live chat. Is it going?
George copies the big loop.
All right, here we go. I'm on the chat. I got the same channel now, but I got access to the chat.
You guys obviously have a better estimate of what it's going to look like in a few minutes. So we'll go visors up until you tell us you're ready to continue.
How do you get all different time for beer break? How do you get all different camera views?
And we can concur with that. You do not need to have your visors down until we have entered the approach to prep when we are leaving waypoint 2.
More to this. Well, listen, I'm going to review this with a critique, so I got to get busy on that right now. So I'm going to have to end the live stream. So what I have to say, it's Thursday, 6:21 p.m. right now. I'm recording from Camp Serenity. Oh, there's another one that says beer run. Everyone's talking about beer run. Okay, that's it. Time for a beer break.